Hi and welcome back. This video is going to be about how to start a regular acoustic jam session. One of the joys in my life is to play with a lot of other musicians and learn from them, and hopefully they learn from me. And we just kind of play together in a very organic setting, and sometimes a lot of magic happens. Sometimes it doesn't, but it's always a lot of fun, okay? So I entitled this How to Start a Regular Acoustic Jam Session. All right, number one, or preamble, I'm going to suggest this be a total acoustic jam session with no amplification, no PA. Make it all acoustic, okay? And personally, I love big, loud rock music, but this is not that scene, okay? It's my belief that allowing amps to come in may cause everybody else to, one guy turns up and so he can hear himself, then the next guy turns up too, and then so on and so forth. And after a while, it gets to be decibel proliferation, in my opinion. So that's just kind of that's kind of my feeling on it. Do it if you want. Let me know if it works, okay? But to set one up, all right, step number one, you got to pre-plan. So you got to start somewhere, and since you're the point man, you're the guy who's doing this, it all comes up to you, all right? So here's basically how I did it, okay? Figure on once a month, okay? Do it every month, about the same time of month. Change it as needed, but pick a day or an evening and a time that works best for you just to get started, okay? And the reason for this, pick a date, an evening, and time that you want to do it right up front is so that you can be decisive when you get a yes or a no for later on some of these steps down below, okay? Okay, step two, find a home. Contact local civic, community centers, churches, maybe a business hub that has a soundstage or other appropriate space, etc. I guess you could do it in somebody's home, but I think that might become difficult later on for many reasons, okay? Or you can contact a local bar or coffee house that has a decent space that may or may not be hosting music acts occasionally right now, I suggest that you not be on the if they have a stage area, I suggest that you not be on it for many reasons. One of them is you're going to start with some really beginning and intermediate players, and they're not sure if they're good enough to even be there at all. So you want to be easy, you want to be low-key, you want to be inclusive and welcoming. You don't want to be putting them on a stage and increasing their fear. You also don't want an audience with expectations. This is just a jam, nothing more, nothing less. A space with a few tables in the back usually has some decent acoustics and at least a hint of privacy. It's fine, in my opinion, it's fine if others want to listen in, as long as they know this is just some musicians that are casually jamming. It's not a performance, okay? We're just some guys jamming. Now, if it's a business manager like a bar or a restaurant or something like that, remember everyone's favorite radio station, WIIFM. And what does that stand for? It stands for What's in It for Me. So your proposition to the venue owner or manager is, I'm bringing you plus business, okay? And you want to say things like, number one, each month I want to bring you an extra 6 to 10 new customers on a slow night to just sit around for a few hours and drink and play acoustic guitars and banjos and tambourines and other acoustic instruments and sing. And then immediately follow up and say, what's your slowest night? Kind of get them involved and get them to visualize their slowest night and help them think about ways of helping to solve that problem, okay? Then you could follow up with, we will buy food and drinks, and we'll bring other people who want to listen and maybe buy some food and drinks as well. And you can invite your regulars to come in and listen casually to the free music if you like. Item number three, we will advertise your business on our social media posts and flyers and any videos that we might do each month. And if you want, you could cross promote and you can host the event on your own social media as well. In return, here's what we want. We want a predictable space that we can play that offers decent acoustics and no interference with TVs or radios during our sessions. Number two, if you insist on buying us around every now and then, we'll be grateful, but we'll always be sure to appreciate your wait staff. So that's kind of your pitch to them, all right? What are we bringing to you? What do we want? So then go through and make yourself a list. Pick out a few places and start with your first choice, because you may just get an immediate yes from your number one choice. That manager might have just been sitting around thinking, God, how am I going to get people in here on a Monday night when football is over or whatever? Okay. But don't spend months looking for the best venue. Find a good one. Get started. You can grow later. You can change later if things don't work out. Step number 3 is identify the musicians. Ask yourself, who are you looking to play with? Think about that for a second. I started with no expectations, and everyone was welcome, and they still are, all right? If someone is hesitant about coming, I suggest that they throw their instrument in the car, come in and listen to us for a while until you feel comfortable going out to your car and getting your instrument, okay? Nobody wants to be embarrassed, and 90% of the people who come in to watch from the shadows will join in, and they'll bring a greater variety to the group, okay? Yeah, I'm not the best player in my group, nor the worst, but I really enjoy that magical, organic interaction that comes from everybody knowing that they're free to contribute whatever they want, okay? Some people just strum, some people they really get after it, okay? And also instill the belief and the knowledge that anyone can pass when it's their turn, and there's no shame. Because what we do is, well, I'll get into the execution of it here in a little bit, but just let everybody know that they can be as involved as they want or as little as they want, okay? Seriously, I have people who have been coming for months and months and months, and they really don't even play anything. They sit there with their guitar, and they kind of move around a little bit. But anyway, yeah, you need a lot of people, and, sometimes they bring friends too. So the next step is to find players. Nowadays, it's pretty easy to get the word out with today's social media and maybe a little bit of legwork. Many recreational musicians are looking for exactly what you have to offer, quote, a chance to play with others. I designed a flyer and I sent it out to several Facebook groups in my area, next door groups, musician groups, etc. I printed a few. I put them up at some local music stores and guitar stores and stuff. Personally, not because I'm lazy, but I like to to have some consistency. Personally, I like to create a template and then just update that with the date and the location and the time. Maybe some artwork that is appropriate for that particular month. So that way each month has kind of the same look, the same brand, and it builds on its own reputation and repetition. People share them around and they forward them like crazy. I can't tell you the number of times I've been contacted by somebody who got sent this from somebody else, and it will grow, I promise you. I'll post a few of them here as my monologue goes on so you get some idea. And if you want any other examples, send me an email. I'll send you a few of them and you can take a look at them. Or feel free to pause the video and take a look at them or take a screenshot. I don't care. We all have our own style, and I'd appreciate it if you do get something going. Send me your creations as well. We can all learn from each other, just like jamming, okay? Okay, number 4, execution. I shoot for a 2-hour jam session, okay? We currently go from 6:30 until 8:30 on a Monday night so that people can get there from work and they can get home at a decent hour as well. There have been times when we go a little longer, and that can be fun, but be aware of your host's hours, okay? if it's a bar, and they close at 9 o'clock, don't play right up until 9 and then take 15 minutes to go to the bathroom and get yourself out of there and get packed up, blah, blah, blah. Um, those are the people who, it's those waitresses and waiters and cashiers and stuff who are going to tell other people about it in a good way. So be aware if they close at 9, make sure you're out of there by quarter till, I think you, as the host, should arrive at least 30 minutes beforehand to set up whatever needs to be set up. Maybe arrange the chairs the way that you want them. Kibitz with the owner a little bit. Be there to be able to greet new people because they don't know what they're walking into. The first few months, I used adhesive paper tags. Hi, my name is on on their shirts and stuff like that, so everybody can get to know the names. After a few months, that's not such a big deal because everybody gets to know everybody. We have a guy in our group who brings an iPad and a little 32-inch television, and he sets it up on a table, and he projects the app guitar tabs right onto the television screen so everybody can follow the chord changes. We play covers. We very seldom ever play originals because this is all about playing together. This is not an open mic night, okay? This is a jam. And if you are approached by somebody who fancies themselves to be a good singer, and they read about your thing and they go, oh, it's a jam. What songs can you do? Because I sing. Well, and you kind of explain to them that this is a jam session. We play musical instruments and we go around in a circle. It's not really like an open mic night. You got to say it in a nice way so you don't make them mad, but it's a jam, not an open mic. That's something different. Okay? Physically, the way I set it up is everybody sits kind of facing each other, maybe a circle or maybe 2 rows facing each other. Whatever works, you'll have to kind of work with your venue in that way. As organizer, I usually start with a simple 1-4-5 12-bar blues so everybody can kind of get warmed up, kind of get playing, kind of get into the groove. I'll start on my left and I'll invite each person to take a lead, for 12 bars as we kind of go around the circle. And if they pass, that's fine. I tell them, you want to lead, or you want to take a lead, you want to pass, no problem either way. And then when it comes back around to me, I'll just finish it off. Then I'll pass it to the next person on my left. He or she calls the next song they want to lead. Maybe they play a verse or so everybody kind of gets to know how he or she wants to treat it, because obviously we arrange our own arrangements, But then we all just kind of jump in and jam, and we follow them. Then the next player on their left goes, and so on and so forth, rinse and repeat. Man, 2 hours flies by like nothing. And again, some songs lend themselves to letting everybody have a lead break. Other songs maybe not, but heck, you'll get a feel for it, okay? The group I started almost 3 years ago is still growing, is still changing, it's thriving. And sometimes it's big enough that we think about splitting off into 2 groups for that evening because no one can hear all the other players, all right? And that there's definitely an ideal number of creative juices intermingling, but you get too many people and it gets kind of cacophonous, so just play it by ear. Yeah, pun intended. But it's a good problem to have. Sometimes you want to split off into a couple of different groups. I would suggest you identify a few good lieutenants who share your vision and will help with things. On the rare occasion when I can't make it, I have a couple of guys I can count on to pick up the load, and they're happy to do so. All right? Share and share alike. All right? Please let me know how your jams go and any best practices that you may discover. And if any of you out there will want to start a Facebook group with all this, hey, go for it. We can all learn from each other. And, that's why we jam, right? Recording, I have tried to record a few jams on my iPhone. I just stick it out in the middle and I post them on my YouTube channel, Harry Noggins Music. But the results aren't really too great. So if anybody figures out how to easy way to record it, let me know that too. Again, as always, feel free to email me. At harrynogginsmusic@gmail.com if you have any questions or share your successes. This is all just about having fun and making music. So I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Hope to hear from you. Ciao.